guys, to another episode of the Midnight Sesh.
Welcome.
My name is Moises.
My name is Sladro.
Sladro, how we doing today, man?
I'm chilling. I'm drinking this Korean beer that
We got
you
some
got us
Korean
drinking.
beer casts.
You out here saying that it tastes like, what'd you say it tastes like?
It tastes like a better version of Heineken.
And I said it tastes like Bud Light.
Boy, he don't know what Bud Light tastes like. He also doesn't really drink. But anyways, guys, we don't care about alcohol over here. We smokers. Today's episode, we got two guests on the show today. One goes by the name of Alex. The other one goes by the name of Leslie.
Ooh, what's up, guys?
Alex, aka the one that actually cares about beer. These guys are lying. I'm the one-off dude.
Alex.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, bro. There's some beers in the fridge. Try it
Hey,
out.
can you pass me that? Can you pass me that?
You don't want your own?
I just want to look at it for now because I'm still eating.
For everybody out there.
Try it and then let us know if it tastes like Bud Light or
This
better,
is the weirdest.
or a better version of Heineken.
For everybody out there,
Oh,
Alex is the
Korea.
guy who drew us our Midnight Sesh logo. So the one you
sir.
see on our Instagram page, he is that man who drew that shit. So
He's on the cast.
go ahead
finally.
and check his shit out. He's been working on shit. He just got like a tablet. Hopefully he starts releasing more shit. We've been telling him, Alex, start drawing your shit and start spreading that shit on Instagram.
Yeah,
you
dude,
know?
he's so good.
Honestly, shout out to my friends that are fucking amazing because they kicked my ass into gear when it came to art.
Yeah.
Like one time they sat me down and they were like, they were like, Alex,
Oh,
you better
that night.
start on your shit, on your art. And ever since that day, I started taking it seriously.
Yep.
Shout out to Moy too,
Let's go.
specifically because he was like, all right, Alex, I need you to do this for me. Do one art piece a day. Honestly, dude, that didn't last
Yeah.
more than a month,
Yeah.
but it like jump started me.
Let's
Yeah.
Like
go.
really
That's
well.
all that
Like it jump
matters.
started me really well.
Yep.
But yeah, now I got a tablet because I'm trying to take art seriously. I want to practice to become like good.
Yep.
So that's where I want to be. I don't know where I'm going to be in like 5 years. I know that Pedro sometimes asks like where I would see myself in 5 years, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of just trying to create my style for now.
Think about it. You got
That's it.
me, Moy, and Adrian that got like your art on our walls right now,
yeah,
bro.
I have his art on my walls.
Exactly.
Too.
Let's
I
go.
just
Look
want
at
to buy
that.
it.
4 for 4.
Your goal should be to just get more people to have your art
Yeah.
on their walls, bro.
You guys have paintings,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm trying to do digital
Yeah.
for now. I'm just trying to practice my fundamentals right now.
I mean,
People
it's
love
still
that
something.
digital.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm still a super materialistic person at the end of the day. Like I
It's
remember
future,
when I was little, I remember that I thought that digital art was kind of fake in a way because, and I still in a way kind of do because when you think about drawing on a piece of paper, especially for me when I was little, I'd always make mistakes and then throw that paper out.
Mm.
But now it's so easy to fix a mistake. It's so easy to like draw a hand and I'm like, oh, this hand is so small or this hand is so big. So I
Yeah.
just lasso that thing, make a circle around it, and then expand it or shrink it.
Yeah. I
It's
guess
so
it is a
easy,
little
like
bit
literally,
easier.
it's so
Yeah.
easy.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
So-
get like drawing on canvases though. It's like more genuine. Like it brings you back to your bases.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Fucking
painting too. I just like I like having like that thing that I can hold physically in real life.
Yeah.
That's why when I was little, I kind of thought that digital art was fake because
Mm.
I don't know. That's just me. That's just an opinion I hold for some reason.
You
It's
think
just-
about it.
it's a mistake.
Artificial intelligence, artificial
Yeah.
shit. It has it right in the name, artificial.
Uh-huh.
So
I'm not
could
gonna
see
say
that.
digital art is artificial art because you still the amount of work that's put into digital art and the
Mhm.
amount of knowledge that is put into digital art is pretty much identical to like painting and drawing.
Mhm.
But there's conveniences in digital art that are so immense compared to like real life.
That's
That's
the thing that I say about like the future, bro. Like change is inevitable, especially with technology. So like you just like even for like whatever field you're doing, I think like you just got to be able to like you know go into that change because eventually you're gonna have to get into that change because like you know paintings are dope and like they're like you know they take time, but also just like a lot of people are doing everything like on the computer on their tablet now. And that's just how the world is changing now, and you have to be able to sacrifice or go willing in to start like you know making your art on a tablet, making it on a computer because that's what's paying people right
You
now.
gotta adapt to
Yeah.
change, man.
Yeah.
like no like I'm not trying to diss on any of like the sculptors out there, like the clay art. Like I absolutely
Talk your
love
shit.
every medium of art. But
Hey.
there's like no, I do like personally I do, but when it comes to like corporations, these dudes expect you to be a professional artist when they hire you, and they expect you to have things done like this.
Damn.
Like, it doesn't matter how good you are to them. Well, it does to some extent, but what matters more is how quickly you can dish out what they need and what they want.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So they got.
Damn.
And every time
That's a
that happens,
corporate
it's always
artist, yeah.
digital art.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn.
Like, find a 9-to-5 that's claymation.
Yeah.
Damn.
That should be taking fucking forever then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like I've always been into photography, but I started picking that up a lot more too. And I'm not like technical at all.
Yep.
I'm also like very old school. Like I like reading books and I like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But now that I'm trying to like make a business out of it, like it is a lot of work, like, you know,
It's so much work.
editing and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
That's
yeah.
filthy. You be taking your own photos and shit?
Well, I don't take my photos, but like I, you know, take
For, like,
other people's photos.
That's dope.
Yeah, like engagements and like
Yeah.
weddings and that kind of stuff. That makes a lot of
Oh
money.
shit.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. You can even do like one of my coworkers at work was telling me is like if you learn how to like take photos of like apartments and houses, like you can charge people like $1,000 or some
dude.
shit like that.
I've been seeing so many like job postings for like retail photography, and
Exactly.
I'm just like, you want me to take a picture of this corner?
Yeah,
Okay.
easily.
Pay me $500.
Exactly. Like he was
That's
just
easy money.
It is
Hell
easy
yeah.
money, but you do have like editing and all that kind of stuff. That is a lot of work, and I think it's harder for like the artist because you see like imperfections more than somebody else would.
yeah.
So you can really just spend like hours and hours fixing like a dot for no
Damn.
reason.
That is very
I
true.
believe it.
Yeah.
That's a generalization, an extreme generalization, but that is true. Like, if not necessarily has to be a dot, but sometimes, okay, so I have certain characters, especially in anime, where I know that, like, I'm so attached to their faces. I know that if someone else drew it, even if they tried their very best, 100% their very best to recreate the art, I know that it will be off in some way unless the original artist did it.
Yeah.
So that's just it's just something that's ingrained into my mind, and I know that's something that's ingrained into
Damn.
other people's
I
minds.
feel like that's true, yeah. Just like probably even like the lines that they start, maybe they start from the head or the fingers or something
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Even the style of how they start it and how they finish it, you know, compared to someone being like, I'm gonna trace it from here.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody has their own style. I feel like a lot of like those like anime producers and stuff, like they're just already comfortable with their style, so of course it's gonna look perfect because it's their picture.
Yeah.
So it's always hard to copy somebody else's work. You have to make it your own, which is like what you've been doing, and it is so good.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I don't think I have a style yet, but I'm really working towards it. I don't know if I'm gonna explain this very good this time, especially because I didn't do it very well last time. But I was telling maybe I can really explain it later. But when I was having this talk with my friends a few months ago on my birthday, actually it was my birthday on November 1st, by the way. We had the talk on my birthday, and I was telling them about how difficult it is to create your style, because basically if you imagine like this like fog, like this blob that's in an artist's mind, someone that is really comfortable with their art style, their blob, this foggy blob that would be their art style in their mind, is super defined, and they know where everything goes. Like, imagine like a foggy blob, and that's mine right now, and then imagine a really good artist's blob, and that one has like a straight circle, like super defined dark circle around it.
Like the
That
SpongeBob
person-
episode?
I don't know, maybe I don't know which one you're talking about.
There's so
but-
many.
The
Like,
SpongeBob
try-
episode where he has like Squidward's teaching SpongeBob how to be an artist, and SpongeBob is literally hella good, where he literally started from how the hand
I remember
was
that.
until the circle, because the circle was so perfect.
Yeah, I remember that. He was like trying to teach him the fundamentals, like this. It's just like perfect.
And, yeah, I mean, but yeah,
I'm gonna show you that, and
it
you're gonna
was
be like,
just-
exactly.
No, I think I've seen it. Is it the episode where this dude like hits the rock and then all of a sudden like the freaking
It's a
Michelangelo-
perfect thing.
Yeah.
Like he hits it
Michelangelo.
Yes.
once, like he hits it once, and that thing just ends up happening. Yeah.
Dude, poor Squidward.
I
It
love
was like
that
his whole
show.
life. Like,
I know that shit
He's
was so
like,
funny.
no way. I love fucking SpongeBob references.
We're like that generation that like still relates everything to a SpongeBob episode.
Yeah.
Because like my sister's 9 and I've, watched the things that she watched and her SpongeBob now is like so whack.
Yeah.
It's not funny. They try so hard. It's like, dude, old SpongeBob is like humorous because it is things like, oh, like this, and it's like the Michelangelo. Like that's funny. I don't know.
And it's like they're doing like a lot of repeats of things like that. Like they've done so many episodes where Gary has run away or is lost and stuff like that, and just like
Well, the thing with SpongeBob is that they also every time something changes, even when it comes to like the writing or even the drawing, it's just because the art, the person got changed, like whoever's in charge. Yeah, the director, the writer, like
the director.
It just
all right,
changes.
SpongeBob, I need you to come in now.
It just changes, and that's because of the person who's actually making it now.
change is inevitable.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's true.
That'd be
You
fun.
gotta let good things die, man. Let good things die good instead of milking
Yeah,
it.
it's like what we were talking about with the Pokemon thing. Like how they keep adding more and more games and all these new generations just look like shit. Because I'm playing Pokemon Sword right now. I'm just like, I mean, it's cool, but they're just being so extra now. Like, go back to the originals. Like what we were talking about. Like instead, they should try to like reanimate like Red and Blue or remaster.
They've
Yeah,
done that so many times. Oh my god, don't
Yeah.
say that.
but do it better. Like stop.
Do it better.
They keep doing it by sticking to their
4K.
guns. They keep doing it by like sticking to their guns and doing the same thing that they've done this whole time, like every time. But they should take the first 151 and then put them in a different environment where you don't have to catch them or something, and you just, I don't know, like do a different thing with them.
Yeah, they're getting so lazy. Like the whole, what is it, the Garbaggio thing? But
What's
that garbage Pokemon in the new
Oh, freaking
generation.
Trubbish.
That's so like
Trubbish.
yeah. So like they literally had like a candle Pokemon. Like what are you doing?
Yes.
That's not a Pokemon. It's
I
a
remember
candle.
I sent Alex some like picture of like a Pokemon. I was like, bro, what the hell is this shit? You know? I
What
was
was
like,
it? What
is
did
it-
it look like?
I forget what it was, but it was literally something like the garbage one or something like that. Where it's like, what the hell is like?
They're being so
They
lazy.
just drew like a bread. It just looks like a bread type of thing, but it's just me like making something up. But like
A
this is
bread.
literally how
He's
they.
the bread type
It's like
Pokemon.
a it's like a toaster Pokemon, and then like the bread's coming out. You know,
Get
like
this bread Pokemon.
that's literally how they be
The
making
teacup
Pokemon.
Yeah, dude,
What
it's
the
crazy. They're getting so lazy with this shit.
All right, what kind of Pokemon would you be? And it can't be a Pokemon that's already out. It has to be like a new Pokemon. You're gonna create your own new Pokemon.
I don't want a new
There's
Pokemon.
It could be like something that's already out. It'd probably be like the weed plant Pokemon.
I feel like
Potter.
if I were to be a Pokemon or create a Pokemon, it'd be kind of something like Mewtwo, but this man goes around and kind of steals other Pokemon's powers.
I feel like I've heard that
That's
before.
like Ditto in a way where he steals like
In a
their
sense, yeah.
looks, but
Yeah.
he still has like his own moves.
That's another thing that they haven't done in forever.
A
The
new
thing
Ditto?
about the original 151 is that there's so much lore behind a lot of the Pokemon. I was telling my girlfriend, that knows like nothing about the lore of Pokemon, I was like, "Have you seen the first movie?" And then I explained to her
Yeah.
how Mewtwo was created, and that shit blew her mind because I was like, "Okay, so Mew is the original. It has all the genes that every Pokemon has."
Yeah.
And then these evil scientists went into like the birthplace of Mew in South America.
Yeah.
And then they found a hair and recreated Mew as Mewtwo, and then Mewtwo blew up all the scientists because he hated the scientists for creating him.
Did you
Yeah.
see
Like, that's
the
wild.
reanimated movie of it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
but it's ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's ugly. I don't
Yeah,
watch
I
that.
didn't watch it, but I saw like trailers.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, I miss all the like original Pokemon. Like even the first movie. Was it the first movie where Ash died and like Pikachu was like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Dude,
movie.
That's like emotional. Like
Mhm.
they really like got to you in like a human level.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of like, oh look at this Dynamax Pokemon. Like, I
yeah.
don't give a shit about that. That thing looks ugly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So how can we make Pokemon even bigger? Let's make
Yeah.
them bigger.
Yeah.
You know.
We don't know what to do. Let's just make them bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
exactly the thought that went through my mind when I saw them do that.
Yeah. I know.
Oh yeah, because they got the XLs now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like
it's much.
those like Well, I think it's kind of dope with like those like the special evolutions, like they have like the like for Charizard and stuff like that, where you can get, like the black Charizard or like
For the shinies.
Everyone
Yeah.
likes the megas.
Yeah.
the Mega Evolution.
That's the only thing that Game Freak, the company that makes Pokemon games, has done that's like a gimmick. Like every generation ever since the megas, there's been a gimmick. Like I think that the last generation before this one, there was like these Z move things, which is basically like a super duper move that
Yeah.
freaking destroys whoever. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking PG level 1, dude, that shit's doing hella damage.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Like-
they did bring this in like Sword and Shield too. They have like
Well-
these special like items that you can give your Pokemon even if they're level 1. They just smoke all these powerful ass Pokemon for no reason.
And the point that I was trying to make though is that Mega Evolutions is the only thing that is new that Game Freak introduced
Mm-hmm.
that people all liked. Like everyone adores Mega Pokemon
Yeah.
because it just improves on the originals.
Yeah. It also
It
like
makes them look
connects
cooler.
to kids. Kids always just like, I want something cool.
Yeah, pretty much. I remember when I was a kid, the thing that made me the most attached to Pokemon was that I thought it was cool. Like
Yeah.
like Ash was cool. Like this dude is a Pokemon trainer. He's super friendly to his Pokemon. Like he cares about them and he fights with them.
He's only
And,
like 10 or 11
Like
years
yeah, he's
old.
only
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Like hello.
And I remember being like, because Pokemon like was pretty much, I watched it since I was a baby, and I was just like, I want to be just like him. I want to capture my own Pikachu. I still have a stuffed animal that looks nothing like Pikachu, but its name is Pikachu.
One of the first bootlegs.
Yeah.
I'm dead. I've had dreams where I've actually had like Pokeballs and like Pokemon and shit like that. Like, have you guys ever had dreams like that?
Yeah, I have a Pokeball right here, bro.
But like in a dream? Like you've ever had like a dream?
Why would I
where
need
you
a
just,
dream
like,
if I have one right here?
Remember
If it
when
works.
Go came out? We were like
That
actual
was
Pokemon.
popping.
That was a good time. Like everybody was so happy.
Dude, I don't know who said this, but I fully believe it. That month or so where Pokemon Go came out was like when world peace was achieved. And it's crazy how
Yeah.
Pokemon is the thing that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting back into it just because like now that I have like Sword
Right.
and Shield, I'm like,
There's
dude,
an
I
ashtray right
love
there.
this shit. Like, why
Yeah.
haven't
You can get
I
it closer to you if
been
you want.
staying with this?
I transferred hella Pokemon into that bitch.
Damn.
Get on
Yeah, it
that
goes this
game.
way.
Hey, but real quick, what are we smoking on today?
Well, what I rolled was, I think, Ghost Train Haze.
Ghost Train Haze.
Yes, sir.
Feeling
That's a
like a
cool name.
ghost tonight.
Ghost Train Haze.
And what else do we got?
So I rolled a backwood. I got some Fatso for all the Fatsos out there. Ciao, Alejandro.
Let's go.
Wow.
And then, we had to double back from the last episode and get some runts. Not white, not pink, just
That
runts.
shit was good.
Yeah, some gas.
What is that?
Both gassy. You can check it out.
What's
Well,
a runt?
we'll
I,
get
don't, I
some.
don't know lingo that's in
This,
the
that,
weird world.
Zaza, this, that. Smell it? Let's get the honest review for someone who doesn't smoke runts.
Why does this look silver?
Why is
this
it
sweet?
frosty?
Why is this sweet silver?
Because it's super silver haze.
Yeah, it's frosty.
Yeah, okay.
And then this is the fat, so you can tell them what it smells like on the pod.
Dude, my friend works at Buddy's in Renton. She never
They still
liked.
look it up.
Yeah, no, she never liked to smoke. And we were always like, dude, just smoke. Like, it's not as bad as you, because you get really paranoid. And now she, like, came up to me. She's like, dude, doesn't this smell like an orange? And I'm like,
Nice.
there now.
Wow.
She smokes every day. Like, she loves
Custom.
that shit
That's
now.
dope.
Yeah. It's really cool. She's the plug.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Literally.
shout out to the plug. We
Yeah,
might
you
need her
always
to be the midnight sesh plug.
Yeah.
Buddies? I've never heard of that one.
Buddy, it's so popular. It's like probably one of the most popular ones in Renton. That and Emerald Haze.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Snoop Dogg
Emerald
went
Haze.
to
I've been-
Emerald Haze.
Yeah, I've been to that one a bunch of times. When
They're
I was
just so
talking to
snobby,
Sandra.
dude. I'm like 23, and I went there once because I still have like my vertical ID. I'm too lazy to change
Oh
it.
my God.
And they were like, "Oh, you can't come in here," and I'm like, "I'm 23," and they're just like, "No, it has to be horizontal." I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll go to Buddy's. I'm never going to this one again."
Bro, the same thing happened with me, but with Have a Heart in Seattle. I was so mad. I was like, "What the fuck, dude? This is fucking
Literally
stupid."
read the expiration, like
Yeah.
read the dates.
Yeah, I was.
I'm probably older than you. Let me in.
Like,
What the fuck?
What the fuck is the fact with the
I don't know.
ID like that?
Sorry.
They're like, nah. we
What's
can't-
the reasoning?
They just don't want to risk it.
Well, it's like
So,
scan it. It still goes through, bro.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, there's
don't
too
know,
many
dude. I
kids
don't know.
now doing like fake IDs and stuff that scan, because I used to work at TSA and like we have all of like the whole ID scanners and stuff. And I was friends with this girl who hadn't even turned 18, and she was 21 for 5 years.
What?
And I like kind of messed around and I scanned her ID. It actually scans.
What?
So that's kind of also why I'm sure they're like, this bitch ain't 21. Like she looks like she's 10. So
That's crazy.
So they want that shit horizontal.
yeah.
Damn.
Horizontal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
my
right.
access is now.
I be forgetting sometimes too. I'm just like, wait, what's this way again?
Yeah, dude, look like left and right. I'm always teaching my friends. I'm like, go left. And I'm like, no, left. I'm like, look, left.
Did you learn that in fucking?
In middle school.
yeah.
Like,
In middle school?
Okay.
We learned that in fucking McKnight.
Yeah, we learned this
Did
together.
did you learn that in keyboard class? In computer
Yes.
class? Oh my
yes.
god.
They literally like hold your finger up because we used to like type on the keyboard. They want you to write with your left hand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I still like hold
I
things
always
in my
remember
head.
that.
Yeah, I still do it.
I
I
always
go left and
remember
right.
that.
Yeah. Kids these days are so dumb. They don't teach them anything. They really don't. Like the fundamentals, like that's what's important.
Mhm.
I don't know.
They're all doing their shit online, so it makes sense.
Yeah, they don't care.
They be cheating out there.
Yeah, they don't care.
Bro,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
how I be saying it. So when I want to say it in Spanish, I be
What'd you
singing
say?
that song in my head.
What'd you say?
Izquierda, derecha. So there's a song that goes like izquierda, derecha, left, right. So every time I want to do that or say it in Spanish, that's what goes in my head. I'm like, okay, I know what to
I
I
say.
kind of did that one. Let me see how did I do it. I forgot. I think for like derecha, if you go like this with your like right hand, it makes
Oh
a D.
yeah, the D and the B's, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's how I did it. I was like, all right, this is right. All right, derecha way.
This man.
Go this fucking way.
It's true because that one was hard for me for hella long. I think
Yeah.
I got
Damn,
that
this
one
one has
after I learned that.
Couple
left,
holes
right.
in it.
There's some fucking
Let's not get that brand no more then.
caterpillar in there.
Yeah, I need some scissors.
I got those because I was like, oh, I recognize that color. Then that means that must be it. But they only had like the black ones and the purple ones and then something else,
The purple
yellow
one
or
was
something.
He's talking about backwoods.
Yeah.
It's the backwoods.
Yeah, dude. Remember when we used to smoke like the Swishers? They were so dry sometimes, like when you get them at the gas
Mhm.
station.
Mm-hmm.
You pass it?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
They still be coming out dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You have to like lick the shit out of it just to like keep
Mhm.
them together.
Yep. That shit fucking sucks.
Oh!
Rip headphone users.
My bad.
Dang.
Someone in the car. Oh shit!
Yeah, dude.
Swerving all over the place.
Leslie, don't get mad at me, but I tell everyone that you used to say that you're gonna kill all of us if I got you mad in the car whenever you were driving.
Remember that one time that we went to Pho with Alejandro and Mitzi, and like Alejandro was driving and I was in the passenger seat. He said, "Jesus, take the wheel," and I took the wheel.
Yeah, she fucking bro. She hella just pulled that fucking shit.
Right? We almost died because I
Oh my
didn't
God.
expect that. Alejandro's like, "Jesus, take the on the freeway," and I was like,
Damn, that's hella funny.
"Yeah, I don't fuck around with that."
Bro, I be in the car, but with my girl, she's Vietnamese and she's Buddhist, so I say Buddha take the wheel, you know?
Wow,
Just doing
that's
that
cute.
random shit.
Gotta
Yeah.
incorporate everybody's culture.
Yeah, that should be hella funny. And she'll be grabbing the wheel when I be fucking saying Buddha take the wheel, you know?
Oh my
That
God.
shit's hella funny.
You're wildin'.
That's hella-
Yeah. When I was younger, I was like fucking around with my parents a lot because, you know, Hispanic people are also like mostly Catholic and shit.
Yup.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very religious, but I
Yep.
have like my own spiritual thing. And so whenever my parents were like, "Oh, like God's gonna punish you," I'm like, "I don't care, I'm Hindu." Whatever the
We don't got God in the Hindu
Yeah, dude,
religion.
for 3 months I just got super into it. Just had like all of these like Hindu symbols in my room.
Filthy.
Just to fuck with my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, fuck my mom.
Um,
You heard it here first,
Y'all
ladies and
heard her?
gentlemen.
Fuck him out. What she do?
Not so much.
The ones that be hella into the religion be like hella extreme and shit like that.
Yeah, I can't stand that. Like, I feel like religion and, like, you know, all that stuff should be, like, a personal thing. Like, you shouldn't be told what to believe in.
Yeah.
Because I, you know, can believe in a God. Like, I think there definitely is a higher power. I don't see, like, a man figure. I don't see, like, you know, like the angels that people always talk about. I don't think heaven is like in the clouds, but I do think there could be a heaven. I mean, there's a hell.
Yep.
So I just don't like people telling like you have to do this or you'll go to hell. It's like, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, I feel like me, my brother, and my sister were lucky because my parents taught us about God. Like, they're Catholic. They taught us about God, but they didn't force it on us. Like, they would make us go to church because those were the things that they were taught, but they never really forced us to go to church all the time or do certain things. And I think because of that is because like me and Alejandro and maybe my sister too, like, you know, question religion and question about like what do we really believe then, because our parents, you know, they say they're Catholics, I mean, but they don't go to church, they don't do all the Catholic stuff that you're supposed to be doing. So that's like, if you're seeing that as a kid too, you're gonna be like, well, if they're not doing it, why do I need to do it? And that's just gonna open your mind to see like do other things, which is it's crazy.
I know, it's like ironic because my parents were so religious, but like I was the only one that actually went through church consistently up till high school. And I just go because like, you know, I still like to hear what other people believe in, and I can still take from like pieces of the Bible and like relate it to like what you're going through. Not necessarily like I don't believe the same things, but I'm open to like any religion. It's just hypocritical when people are like, you have to do this, you have to do this. I'm like, you're not acting very Christian.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't even know what a real Christian is because they just have so many definitions for like.
Yeah, there's so many different religions.
I feel like for Christianity is the only one that I can't get a real definition, but like people who are Muslim and Jewish, like they have a real definition. Because like I have Muslim friends and they be telling me about like their religion, and I'm just like, okay, everything, like when I ask him a question, he won't like, you know, go around the question. He'll actually like answer me, and he'll use like his whatever his teachings are, and it makes sense to me. But when I ask like a Christian person that those kinds of questions, they kind of go around the question, and then they can't really like, you know, explain anything, and it just always goes back to something about God, and I don't know, they just don't make sense to me. So
He knows all, he says all.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I can't say for him.
Yeah, I was one of my old coworkers, she's Jehovah's Witness, and because I love fucking with people, I just ask all these questions. She's like,
that's dumb.
She's an old lady, so I'm over here just like, so why do you feel this way? Or like, why do you just, you know, whatever they do? And she's just like, well, because that's just how it is. I'm like, but why? You know?
That's what they be saying. They're like, that's just how it is. I'm like, what do you mean that's just how it is?
I got myself so fucked up in that situation because since I asked her so many questions, now she thinks that I'm interested in being a Jehovah's Witness. So she still texts me like, oh, come to like our meetings and stuff. I'm like, look, I'm not actually interested. I was just asking. Like, I just want to know like why people think the way that they do so like faithfully, you know?
You want to be woke.
I love like getting to people's minds.
Knowledge is power, everyone.
I feel like that also helps question themselves. They're gonna, if you probably keep doing that constantly to somebody, they're gonna get to a point where they're like, wait, why am I just thinking this? You know?
Yeah, because I feel like. So, you know, I think about people a lot, and I'm like, I wonder if people like really reflect and think to like, you know, because everybody kind of seems like they move like on automatic, like they just kind of do their routines, go to work, go to school, and whatever, but they don't think. Yeah, they don't think. It's like, dude, do you think about why we're doing this? Like, I constantly like make myself like stop and like get a break and like think to myself, and I'm like, dude, why does shit happen like this? Like, I don't know.
Passing the runs to Alex.
People never fucking wanted these questions answered. That's why fucking drugs are banned.
Yeah.
Okay. Only the people that do drugs ask these kind of questions about like God and shit.
Yeah, because they're open
Think
to
for
like
yourself,
learning.
bro. Don't be a sheep.
Don't be a sheep. Y'all heard it here first.
Come up with your own solution. Come up with your own.
When's the last time a Christian asked you a deep question?
We're not telling you. We're not telling you to do drugs, though. Okay, we're not telling you to do drugs. But if you're using them for research purposes, we ain't gonna say anything. You know.
You got research yourself somehow.
I still think all drugs are bad, even marijuana, as long as you're irresponsible doing it. If you're doing it with a malicious intent, it doesn't matter what kind of drug it is, dude. You're doing it irresponsibly, don't do it.
Yeah, some people really just can't show, like...
No self-control. No self-control.
Dude, I've talked to so many people that have always asked me, like, oh, like, can you hook it up? And I've always been like, dude, you have to, like, take it seriously, like, have fun, but don't be, like... because I had this guy who was like, he had never done any drugs. He's like, I'm gonna candy flip. I'm gonna do acid and Molly at the same time.
For a
And I'm
while.
like, maybe you shouldn't. You don't
Yeah.
seem like the kind of person that could handle. Because psychedelics is no fucking joke, dude. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as you get caught and you're not ready for that, you're caught for hours, and you
Mhm.
have to ride it out until you're done.
Mhm.
And some people are just like, it's okay, I'm just gonna do it. They don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing about that is that I feel like I'm that person, but I'm always just ready. I'm always like, if it happens, it
He's
happens.
always just right.
Like,
Yeah, it's one thing to like ride it
Yeah,
out, you
'cause-
know?
that's the thing. I think throughout life, I think I've just gone through enough shit where I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna feel this way, then I'm gonna have to just feel this way. And then once it's done, it's done. I gotta just. A lot of times when I've done certain
But I feel like
psychedelics, it comes down to me saying, you know what? Whatever I'm supposed to feel is what I'm gonna feel. So when it does happen,
Mhm.
I'm like kind of prepared, regardless if it's left or right. You
That's
know?
a good mentality,
Yeah.
though. Some people literally are just like, I want to see God and shit. And
Yeah.
it's like, you're not gonna, like, let's be real, you're not
Whoa,
gonna see
bro.
The
God.
first time I took acid,
That's
that's
what I was
kind of
about
what
to say.
I was trying to go
I
for.
think you're
but-
pretty
Yeah.
responsible
It was true.
when you be taking stuff like that, because what I'm thinking, if you're abusing it, is like you're constantly keep doing that. Like you're gonna be
Yeah.
like, you know what?
Yeah.
I candy flipped last night. I'm gonna do it again tonight, and
Oh,
you just
yeah, no.
constantly like that. Like for me,
Mhm.
that's abusing. But if you're just using it to like, you know how you were just explaining, I think that's fine. And just like for other, if you're using it for like a good reason or not like abusing it, like how Alex was saying, then that's cool, because you don't, the next day I don't see you doing the same thing. You just learn from that, and you're just like, okay, this is how I felt,
Yeah.
and now I know. Now you know how you felt when you did those two things together, that one thing. So you take that into consideration. You know, just be like, start doing it all over again or
Yeah.
something like
You
that.
guys know what kind of people I really respect that do drugs?
What?
When they tell me in casual conversation, oh, I research how long I have to wait until the next time I can take this where it's safe.
Yeah, you
Or
do
I
love your
research the
Mm.
dosage that is safe.
Yeah.
Like those type of people are people that I think are like, I don't know, just the smartest. Like that's just what
Yeah.
you do, dude.
Mhm.
Like keep yourself safe. Don't do no stupid.
My
irresponsible
boyfriend's that
shit.
person because, you know, he was in the military for so long and he's very logical. I'm
Mhm.
so carefree. I'm like you, like where I'm just, I just want
Just
to
do it.
just do it, you know. I know myself. I'm very confident in like what I can and can't handle.
That's how opposites attract.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's over here like, we did DMT and he was like, have you read up on it? Like, read the things. I'm like, no, I'm not going to read about it because you're
Yeah.
psyching yourself out. And I
Yeah.
know, like,
Yep.
at the end of the day, like, it'll wear off. Like, no
Mhm.
matter what happens, it's going to be over. So I'm just like, what happens, happens, you know?
Damn.
But, yeah, so he researches a lot too.
I'm
So
like that
just
too, because I'm just like, ooh, and then I get myself nervous, and then I can't do
Don't
something.
get yourself
I think that's really
nervous.
healthy.
It's,
I think it's really healthy to research all that
it's
stuff.
good to have a person to do it for you.
I've always just been an anxious person.
All right.
Yeah,
so
find someone
I
to do
feel
it
like
for
this
you.
is a good question then, because I feel like a lot of times, you know, the doctor's gonna give you something, you're just gonna be like, all right, he says for this, I'm gonna take
Bro,
it.
What's
know
the
what?
second
But how
option?
many times do people go back and they're gonna be like, all right, the doctor prescribed me this, this, and this. I'm gonna research it, and
Dude.
you know what? I'm not gonna take it because it does this. Like
Those
You're
are like
gonna take that shit.
anti-vaccinators. Yeah.
you're not
Alright,
gonna
guys.
you're not gonna search it up. You're gonna be
Yeah.
like, the doctor said it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. You did go to school for it.
You guys know that I took Adderall in high school to help Leslie with
yeah.
her class?
Dude,
Dude,
we did Adderall
dude,
for 2 months
I
straight.
took
What?
I took Adderall. I took Adderall.
We do
one
not
morning.
abuse prescription drugs on this show, guys.
Yeah. It's a prescription drug. So I was.
Like I said, we do not abuse that. We do not take
No,
that.
we don't use it. We don't.
No, that was literally just how we
High school
graduate.
story.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a high school story, but I was gonna take it to the point where I was gonna talk about my brother. My brother has a little bit of trouble focusing sometimes in school. So one time he went to the doctor, and then my mom brought back Adderall, and I think back then I didn't really know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, it's just like a medicine, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So and that way my mom was like, oh, I don't want to give him this because like I don't want him to feel like he's dumb, like obviously, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then I took Adderall that one day with Leslie
Mhm.
to help her with her class.
Do you remember
And
when we
dude,
took the
I was
first-
I was so stupidly focused. I was
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
bro, this drug is so strong.
Do you remember like when we took the
Such a
first pill?
fucking
We took the first pill and it didn't really hit, and I was just because he was like, "Oh, it's supposed to help people with ADHD like focus, like it doesn't get you high." And I was sitting here, I'm like, "Do I have ADHD? Like this isn't doing shit."
Yeah.
We had to do like what up to like 60 like milligrams or whatever for us to just pass my classes. I took like 10 classes the last 2 months of school, and I graduated with 3 extra credits for no reason.
That's
You're
Thank
filthy
you.
with it.
You're my best friend for that. He really stayed up with me. Like, he would come over every night, and we would just have, like, Full Metal Alchemist playing, and just doing my homework, and we're just fucking so high off of Adderall until, like, 4 in the morning.
God damn.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I remember, like, he helped me with, like, this project, because I had, like, AP Psychology, and I had to do, like, this whole PowerPoint. And I had...
All right, now the story found what it was looking for. It all makes sense.
I had AP Psychology, and we had to come up with this PowerPoint, and I'm a procrastinator, so I literally waited until that night, and I did so much Adderall that, like, by the time it was time for me to present the project, I was, like, tweaking. And so, like, I was shaking presenting this project, and, like, Alejandro and my other friends were like, "Dude, are you just really, like, do you have stage fright?" I'm like, "No, dude, I'm high as fuck." And no, everybody thought I was just, scared.
That's so lucky, too. Like, people would just assume in that situation, even though you're drugged
I
up.
was
that
just sitting here like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm zooted.
That's like a perfect situation for you to be shaking like that and not get in trouble for
Yeah,
it.
I was like so nervous. Like I wasn't nervous, but it's like my voice
That's
was
crazy
shaking.
to
I
think
was
about.
like holding my papers really shaking.
Don't get no ideas.
Yeah, guys, drugs are bad.
I feel like that's so crazy because I feel like for me, I didn't know y'all, and I'm not expecting the motherfuckers in the next class to be just geeking off
I
the
never
shit.
thought about that.
Yeah.
Like I've had people like I remember like freshman year. I think that's when I had like all the upperclassmen and stuff. Like I remember talking to girls and stuff, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I be doing coke and stuff." Blah blah. blah. And I'm like, "Yo." And that was like a popular thing. Like I remember being a freshman and like the junior girls and the senior girls were all talking about that shit. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I was all like, I'm gonna talk to these people instead.
Yeah.
But they were bad. I'm not gonna lie. The baddest girls were the ones doing the bluff.
The cokeheads.
Yeah, I mean, I got unlucky kind of in a way because I got introduced to it like when I was 14. And I also was like that person, like, oh, I didn't know people like did drugs like that. But they're like, dude, you want to do an E-bomb? And like from there, like I have been so experienced. Like I'm also kind of grateful that I've been like open to that experience. But it's just kind of funny because you never expect, like you look at me like I don't think you would expect me to like have done acid, shrooms, Molly, all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm so chill off that stuff. But drugs are bad.
Don't do drugs, guys.
Drugs are bad.
Unless you're learning from them type of shit.
Dare, if you're listening, sponsor us.
The next logo gonna come out with their sponsorships at the bottom. Sponsored by.
There.
I never knew what the fuck that shit stood for. Like every time I'd see that logo, it would be like when I was on the highway or something and it was like on the corner. And then I was like, bro, those words are too damn long. I can't read it that fast.
Oh, no. I remember being like a
Literally.
little girl and my mom had got me like this like Dare lion. It was like a stuffed lion with a Dare t-shirt. And that was like
Mascot,
my favorite
yeah.
toy. And now look at me.
Wait,
like,
y'all didn't. I mean, yeah,
Bro.
y'all didn't have Dare at school though.
No,
No,
I
I
only
didn't.
knew about
Were you-
Dare because of that stuffed animal.
Yeah, so in elementary school, when was it? 3rd grade or
Fifth
5th grade? Yeah, we had Dare class. It was for a whole week long.
We had a
my
police
God.
officer come
Yeah.
to our class.
What?
Talked about like
And-
drugs and like just like the violence.
I just remember
crime,
that like in that like
everything.
and for I don't know if she did it for you or for every class, but she like put the handcuffs on every kid at least
Oh, yeah.
once.
What?
Yeah, everybody
That's
get
traumatizing.
I even went up and was like, damn, dog. It's because I'm brown, yo.
I remember when
There was like 3 brown kids in that class, and I was one of them.
They're just crying.
I remember when I went up, I was like, oh shit, you just see those fucking things on your wrist. You're just like, well, you really just have them like back here, you know?
Maybe that's why they stopped them. All these kids are just coming out of class. Mom, I got arrested today.
I feel like if they tried to do that shit, like, no, I'm not
That shit would
having
not
that.
fly, bro. That would shit
Now
not
it wouldn't fly. Like people are so like fighting against everything right
Yeah.
now that like
Potato Head.
yeah, you can't do anything now without somebody being like, you can't
I'm
do that.
talking about Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, dude.
If you're new and we're just born a couple days ago, we're talking about Mr. Potato Head, not Potato Head.
True.
What's Potato Head?
You know that toy, Toy Story? The
Yeah.
people that made that toy, in
Yeah.
order to appease
Hasbro.
like
To be-
the genders and everything, they
Yeah.
changed it to just Potato Head instead of Mr.
They have Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
Yeah,
Like, what the
that's
heck?
exactly.
I
But
don't
those
know.
are genders.
It's I don't know. It's
Those
just
are-
a brand. Like Potato Head is just a brand. I guess.
I feel like now they're more focused on just like the potato as being toy versus
Mhm.
like him being like
Like,
a
it
person.
doesn't annoy me personally, like that they changed
Mhm.
that, but I don't know.
No.
Like I still think it's stupid though.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
like
Of course, like it's a toy and it's a potato.
We grew up in like
Like, chill
different
out.
generations
Yeah.
though. Like for I think our generation, like we were just kind of like we grew up with this stuff. It didn't actually like mean anything to us. We just like Mr. Potato Head was like that's it, and he had his Mrs. Potato Head. But now because of like all the gender
Yeah.
stuff, like they're trying to like pander to people so that
Yeah.
nobody feels like excluded and stuff.
Mhm.
But you know, it's not a big.
I think
how do you
low-
fight against
I mean,
that though?
yeah.
How do you fight against that idea?
You
where
can't. You just
Let
have
it-
to let them
yeah.
have it.
It just
As long as it helps somebody
Let them
out
have
there,
it.
Mhm.
then let that happen.
They're low key getting us ready to start accepting aliens walking around.
right.
You know? That way,
Oh,
when
yeah.
you see one, you're like, oh, that's just an alien, you know? It's like she's walking around type of shit.
That would be crazy though.
Valid point.
Yeah, dude, did you guys not see that video that like got leaked from the Navy where they were in the radar room and they saw a UFO?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
why isn't anybody?
Yeah.
Nobody even talks about that stuff. Like it
That's
happened,
right.
and
It's
they're
like,
just like aliens.
whatever.
It was-
like
We expected it.
yeah.
It was really low. Like, it was still, like, trending a lot, but, like, it was so low that not that many people were seeing it. But, like, if you did see it, you're just like, damn, they really just said that was a UFO,
I
you
know,
know?
they're like aliens literally exist, and we're like, yeah, that's cool. But dude, look at the like whole president debate going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like aliens exist. That's so crazy.
Dead ass. All the presidents that be going into, like, office, like, before, like, a long time ago, some of them would swear, like, hey, when I get voted in, I'll release a whole bunch of, like, shit from Area 51.
They
And
don't
then,
do shit.
so they go, yeah. So
They
they,
don't do shit, bro. They get killed.
they get voted
Yeah.
in.
Higher like government that no one knows about would kill them.
Bro, they
Yeah.
get voted in, and then some of them learn all this shit. And I think because of what they hear from what they're told, they're just like, yeah, we should not release this shit.
Yeah.
You
What if
know?
it's that powerful of a thing though? Like that's what they're hiding.
I mean,
That-
I believe
that
it.
it's like every human being is like, bro, we can't tell them this.
Well, to be fair, like the way that everybody acts, like all of us act with like little things. Like, do you really think that the whole world could handle knowing like the secret shit that the government knows? They would go nuts. It would be anarchy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it is for our safety, but like we're not
100%.
dumb.
Would you go crazy if you said, if
Are
they
you
said, like, aliens right there?
stupid?
Would you be the crazy part of the people that be like, oh shit, aliens are real? Like, you're gonna just go
What are
wild
you
and
doing
shit like
next
that?
when you find out?
I feel like, bro, you want to smoke a blunt with me?
Let's go. She's trying to smoke with aliens.
Wait, so-
Like, let's talk about it. Like, what
Yeah.
do you know about us?
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, so y'all be smoking alien cookies?
Shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so crazy to think about
I
because
do.
obviously there has to be something else out there. Like
Mhm.
they just like released, like NASA released that whole like map of how small our world is compared to other universes. Do you really not think that there's something? Like,
Has to be.
you have to be
Has to
arrogant to think that you're the only thing in the whole multi-universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's your idea on that, Alex?
I know you love this stuff.
It's just it's just statistically impossible for there not to be other life out there. I don't know about intelligent life because I don't know, like intelligent life. That's too broad of a term to be able to like define with us being humans when and we only know humans as intelligent life. That's the only sample we have. But where I'm going with that is there's so many stars. There's countless stars out there. We don't know how many there are. There's countless galaxies out there, and they all have billions and billions of stars in them. And all of those stars have planets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's absolutely no way that there is no life out there. No other
Yeah.
life out there besides us. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
That's true, because what is the definition of intelligence outside of this, like, universe and this planet, you know?
Yeah, because for them, like, they probably understand, like, the world, like, in crazy ways. Because, like, what me and Wilson were talking about with the whole DMT, you just see, like, doing DMT, you see, like, colors and hear sounds that, like, are not comprehensible to explain. So, like, if that's maybe, like, a glimpse of maybe what else is out there, like, if maybe what they understand, like, it's just crazy to think about. There has to be something else, some other sort of things that we just will never understand.
There has to be something out there that sees that stuff daily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
Damn. That's just like how we can only see like what, like a 2-dimensional world type of shit, or 3-dimensional world.
Have you seen that one movie? I forget what it's called, but it was like she got like injected with this thing, and it like unlocked parts of her brain where it's like, oh, you know, you only use
Lucy?
like. Yes, is that the movie? Yeah, like.
Scarlett Johansson.
You know, what if we really only
that
use...
movie was fun.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if you really only use 10% of your brain, like, what would like, you know, it's a fun theory to think about, like, what would happen if you unlocked all of it? Like, what's the stuff that you could understand?
Yep. Damn.
That movie's almost like Limitless, but different. But with Limitless, it was a pill, you know, and then he projected it, or he produced it so well. Like, he took out every single bug, and then basically was able to, like, get to a point where his body just naturally took it. And so he had to stop, like, he could stop taking the pills. Yeah. He was so clear, bro. Like,
I haven't seen him.
he literally was like 10 moves ahead of everybody. Like, right now, if he was here, he'd probably be like, okay, tomorrow, this, and this is going to happen because I'm going to make it happen. While other people are like, what is happening right now?
What do you think, like, psychics, like, go through? Because psychic people say they see ghosts and all this stuff and can see the future. Like, how much of their brain is, like, unlocked?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy to think about.
They got, like, an extra 1% on top of themselves or some shit, you know?
They see ghosts and shit.
Well,
Yeah.
Damn, I was going to say at least 5.
5%?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think?
You guys know what I think?
Huh.
That every one of us here, when we make a choice, we emanate a wave. Like, you know how everything is a vibration? Like, atoms vibrate, and therefore, like, everything in the universe vibrates?
Yeah.
What I think is that every time you make a choice, a different universe is made, and that's like your vibration. You go boom, and then everyone here in the world goes boom, like when they make a choice. So it's constantly going, like, constantly making new dimensions, like new... Not like new dimensions like 4th dimension, 5th dimension. I'm talking about, like separate universes, I guess.
That's kind of like the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty crazy to think about. What if we're all like individually Big Bangs?
We're all making big bangs at every second when we make a choice.
Dude, I love that you get all scientific on me.
Fucking Alex.
Is that the
Made me think of
runs?
hella shit in my head.
Boom, as I just discovered the fucking secret, and then boom, I get like fucking teleported away.
There's like millions of Alexes in another universe. Just like write that shit down.
Hey, that's a good one. Write that down. All right, Alex, I'm on it, Alex.
Yeah.
There's other ones. Listen to the podcast.
That
What
was
the Alex say
my
this
There has to be
time?
like an Albert Einstein, just like, dude, what if they're right? Let me just like put my whole life on this theory.
Dead ass.
There's people out there like, I really like TikTok lately because my TikTok is just like theories and stuff about like whatever, and like it's so cool to see how other people think, because it's like, dude, what if that is another like part of it that I didn't understand? But I don't know. It's
Yeah.
really interesting to talk to. That's why I love talking to other people.
Yeah.
Like, I love hearing how other people think, just because we all kind of have it figured out in our own ways. But when you can articulate it, it's like more real, I guess, you know?
I love fucking... I've been getting some of that shit, like, on my TikTok, too. Like, I have one guy who just says, like, some crazy-ass things where I'm just like, damn, what if this is the truth, you know? I gotta think of one to geek.
Yeah, sometimes, like, honestly, like, I know which one you're talking about, and I feel like whenever I read it, I'm like, dude, I wish this to be true just because it would be so interesting, you know? But, like, inside I'm always like, but there's no way that's true, bro. That would be, like, too good to be true sometimes, and also too bad to be true as well. My what's the word, like, when you don't really believe in things because you need too much data?
I don't know.
When you're
Alex?
No, when you're not.
When you're analytical?
No, like when you don't believe in something because common sense says no.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. There's a word for that.
It's called being geek.
No.
They high now.
I'm hot. We hot.
Oh, skeptical. Skeptical.
Oh,
Yeah, like my
yeah.
inner skepticalness is like, dude, that shit would never happen. Like,
Yeah.
no way.
That's, I seeing like another theory, because right now everybody's like, dude, you know mermaids could be real.
Yeah.
And like so many people, it's so easy to write it off because they're like, well, the with how deep the ocean is, like the pressure would not even allow like a human body to, we would explode like essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody was like, dude, what if like that same concept is like, there's mermaids so deep under like the ocean that like
That's what
they
I thought.
can't come up
That makes
without
sense.
imploding because
Yeah.
of that pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, that's crazy to think about. too.
Damn, I never even thought about that shit.
No,
It's cool.
dude,
I've always,
TikTok's going crazy. It's going off.
I've always just thought about like they're just able to go up and down type of thing, you know,
Mhm.
like but they just decide to live so far low because that's just where everything's at.
What if mermaids are all the way at the bottom, but they can all see in the dark?
Yeah,
Ooh.
dude. They probably don't look like humans. They look like,
Fish.
yeah, like some weird crazy. Because I,
It's a boogie boogie.
Some, that's a
Yeah.
monster. That's a monster.
I've seen some documentaries about like the deep ocean, and they like say how like the very bottom ocean fish like are just so flat because of the pressure, but they survive that way. So you
So they
never
evolved.
know what's down there. Like you never know what can survive.
Dead ass.
The ocean itself is like another universe.
Yeah, it's another. People
Yeah.
call
Okay.
it another Earth. It's completely different.
This is what I
Especially
hella
because
love.
The Earth is like 70% fucking water, anyways. Like, bro,
Mhm.
we're only on the land.
Yeah.
I hella love hearing this about everybody, but like, what is kind of your idea of like death? Like, what have you thought about like that comes to your head a lot? That's just like, okay, when I
Death.
die, this is what happens. Like, are you gonna
What
get
is going to
reincarnated?
happen?
Are you just gonna go back to space? Like, what do you
I've
believe?
seen it.
What do you
Yeah.
kind of believe?
Well, what I was like kind of telling you guys a little bit earlier too, I almost died my senior year of high school. I won't go like in too much detail, but I like as I was dying, I was just very consciously aware of the fact that like I lost like my sense of like feeling, my hearing, and then my sight. And I was just like in this conscious state where I was like aware that I was a soul inside my body, and I could just hear my heartbeat getting slower and slower, like I was dying.
Fuck.
And that really fucked with me a lot because for like 3 months I was just sitting there like, what is out there? Like, is death just like the conscious awareness that you're like
Your
a
life is
spirit
finite.
or something, you know? But I thought about it a lot, and like at the end of the day you never actually know what happens.
Mhm.
But I do like the idea of like reincarnation because if your soul is a different part of your body and you separate from that when you die,
Mhm.
like who's to say that it can't reincarnate into another being, you know?
Damn.
It doesn't help
I
like
fuck with that.
yeah, there's like, you know, there's ghosts and there's like spirits that are just always free without a body, but there's still people that like have unfinished business and maybe want to like do something, like their souls aren't ready to go up to heaven or
Ooh.
hell or whatever, you
I have
know?
someone like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of theories. I heard one that was like, what if like stillborns are people that are like in near-death experiences and they live instead of die?
Oh,
So instead
damn.
of like going to the light, they just go back to their body. And what if that light is like you being pushed out of your mom?
Damn.
There's so many crazy things out.
Yeah.
I think about this stuff all the time.
What's yours, Alex? I want to hear yours.
I don't know if I want to talk about mine.
Why?
I just don't want to.
Okay.
Damn.
What about
Okay.
yours?
Mine, I feel like this is what I always believe. Like, at the end of it, I always kind of think, like, it's just energy. Like, we're all just energy, you know? So you're just going to go, like, when I think about death, it's just like you're going to wake up and see that you're in space because you're part of the galaxy. You're part of the universe. And that's the one that I always go back to. But then, like,
That'd be cool.
but then what I always kind of think about, too, it's kind of like reincarnation, too. But, like, say this plane of life that you're living right now is, like, where you're at, like learning things, and you can probably be reincarnated back on here if you feel like you are not ready or you just haven't woken that part of you that needs to, like, you need to find out in life what you need to do. Like, once your brain wakes up and you start questioning more things, you're just like, how can I better myself? You're gonna move up from there, and then go to like a next existing plane, which is gonna be a higher plane, and from there you're gonna have to have, like, you know, you're gonna have a whole new goals type of thing, and it's like a constantly reincarnation, but like into a newer plane until you're just like, maybe like the ultimate goal is to get to like a god plane type of thing, you know? And that's kind of like how it is. But that's kind of like the one that I've just been thinking about, like lately, especially after like I saw like a TikTok video that just
Yeah.
said that shit.
I heard about that too. Like people call it like I saw something that's like, oh, you have like 13 lives and you spend each one of your lives like accomplishing like each
Yeah.
part of till your soul is like complete enough to go to like what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Uh-huh.
So that's a really good theory too. I like that too.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen The Good Place?
Yeah.
I saw like an episode.
That's the heaven. In the very end, what happens at the very end? I don't want to spoil it, but what
Yeah, it's
happens at the
hella
very
good.
end? That's what I hope that heaven is like.
Yeah.
Like that design that they kind of like that idea that they came up with in that show.
Yeah.
I think that would be like one of the best heavens for sure.
That show is fucking. I recommend to go watch that show.
Watch
It's
it.
super funny.
I gotta
Yeah.
get past the first episode.
It's hella funny.
I get.
Ooh, it gets really good.
Fucking,
The Good Place.
What's his
and
name?
it's on
Jason,
Netflix.
right?
Yeah.
Jason's hella funny in that bitch. He's
Yeah.
funny, bro. This guy usually funny characters don't last that long, but this guy lasted being
The
funny
entire
the whole
way.
the whole way, bro. The fucking writers are amazing.
Bro, that scene where he was getting married and this dude started going pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dope ass show. Especially like it just talks about like how like death and life and stuff like that, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I think like
It's just a
shows
really
are
good
cool because they like open your mind to think things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do it in like a way that people can handle. Like they just watch a show, but people that really do care about that stuff will look at that show and they're like, "Dude, that's a good way to think about something." You know?
Yep.
It gets you going.
Hell yeah. Wait, what's your guys' way, Adrian and Moy, for like when you experience death? Do you have one?
I do, but I don't. I feel like the one that kind of comes to mind, like reincarnation is one of them, but also like there was this, the church that I was not going to, but my friend invited me to, so I just went because I was like, okay, cool, you're my
Yeah.
homie.
Yeah.
So I went, and their whole church is like basically all based from the Bible. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I asked him, okay, so then like, what is death? And he was saying that when you die, that you just die and then you wake up the moment that God is supposed to come back. But then that like because he says that you're nowhere, you're just like,
That's like what Jehovah Witnesses and Mormons think.
it's so weird. So hold on, but like, so then, so he was just saying that. So it's just that because since he said that, it always comes to mind like, damn, imagine just dying, and then like it's just like you close your eyes, you wake up, and you're like somehow either coming out of the earth and you see God, or and everything that's supposed to happen, and that shit's just crazy to me. But then at the same time, it's like your body is just. He says that you're just underground. Like, you're not nowhere. Like, when people die, they're not in heaven or hell.
They're like in the limbo stage.
He says that doesn't exist.
What?
He's like, they're nothing. They're just in the ground.
They're just
The ground
like,
people.
sleeping until God
I
comes.
guess, in a sense, I was just like, okay, cool, that kind of makes sense. And then he just says that when God comes back, that it's like, you just immediately, like, in a second. So it feels like when you die, you're only dead for a second. And then I always go back to that because I'm like, that's so interesting. But
Yeah.
everybody knows how I feel about God.
I don't know where I heard this, but it makes me feel kind of comfortable about death. Try to think about what it felt like before you were born.
Ooh.
Like what it felt like to not be born
Nothing.
yet. Right?
Yeah, you don't
Are you
know.
comfortable with that feeling?
Back to, bro. So
Like,
that's another
what if-
one of
what if
mine.
Death is like that. Like, it
That's
just
another
feels
one
like
of mine,
that.
bro.
Yeah.
And that's the one that gets me kind of scared.
Yeah.
And then, then I'm like, bro, so if I die and I just go black and like, it's just nothing, like, I'm just like, there's just nothing, bro.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying. That's
and
what
then
I
I
went through.
I get
was
spooked.
like, yeah, I was fucked up for 3 months because I was like,
Damn.
dude, what, like, is this it?
Yeah.
Like, I have to live my life now because any second I could die and there's just nothing.
Yeah.
It's just really crazy to think about.
Hey, but when that happens to me, I just like tell myself, yo, like, it's going to happen regardless. So even if
Yeah.
that's it, you're going to deal with it when you
Yeah.
got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like psych myself out.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool.
Get out of it.
On to the next thing.
What's yours, Adrian?
Damn. Like, for me, it's kind of like something I feel like at the end of it, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, I had it in my head. I had everything lined up, but let me see. I don't know. Let me think.
Damn.
Let me think.
To be fair,
What
though, I don't
happens
really
after
know
you
either.
die? You don't know either?
Nobody knows.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You know? We just,
No, but like I don't know what I believe in when it comes to death. Is what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like you guys sound like you like are hoping and are believing in yourselves inside that this is death and that's how I'm gonna accept it as being, and this is how I'll accept it when it happens. But for me, I just don't know yet. I don't know what I believe.
Yeah.
I haven't decided.
It could even just be death is just whatever you believe at the end, you know, like.
Yeah,
Everybody could have a different death experience. Like once
and
you die,
heaven, and heaven.
whatever yours is, you'll probably go through that, and you think everybody goes through that, but that's actually just yours.
I told this to Alejandro recently. I was like, dude, I hope that everyone's version of heaven comes true when they die.
That's
like,
really sweet.
Yeah, because for me, so this right now it's a secret, but right now I'm making this art where it's just this kid with a halo on his head living his life in the Pokemon world, where he's just like laying his back on a Snorlax because he can't figure out that you're supposed to use the flute to wake it up. So he's just resting on it, and he has a halo because he's dead and he's in heaven.
That's a cool
damn.
painting.
How much you selling that for?
I know,
It's
Alex,
digital.
sell your art.
It's digital.
Oh, that should be the first one you post.
It is. I'm working on it right now. You want to look at it?
Filthy with it.
Yes.
You want to look at it? I have it.
Show it right
Let me
here. Y'all can't see it yet. Though.
It's
Y'all-
a secret.
Yeah, it's a secret.
Maybe when this
He was
episode's
like, it's a
out.
secret? Y'all want to see?
No, but it's not done yet.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's like this crazy story that I heard? You remember how like 2012 was supposed to be like when the world ended and all that stuff and everybody was freaking the fuck out?
Yep.
Apparently this guy was like, fuck it. If we're gonna die, I'm gonna do so much drugs and I'm gonna fuck all of these people. He had 100-person orgy. And he
What?
fucked himself with drugs so much that night. And then the next morning the world didn't end and he survived. Can you imagine like people that were
He
just
went
like,
on a bender
this
and
is how I'm
fuck it.
gonna die, and they just make
Oh,
it, and they're
shit,
like,
that would be
damn.
crazy.
I don't know
Well,
what
at
he
least
went
that
through.
happened.
Yeah,
You know, like.
Can you imagine all the STDs that guy got with that 100-person orgy?
Right, that's
Because only some sickos are going to be like, yep, I'm down.
Yeah.
Why do you
They're
only
gonna
hear this
die.
shit after that shit's happened, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like people, especially maybe people with cancer and stuff that know that they're going to die, that's why they have like this sense like, I have to do everything that I have never done before, you know? Just to experience it before who knows what happens.
Yep. Really
True,
fucking
true.
be like that.
Scissors. Yeah, I'll grab you.
I be seeing people on TikTok that are sick as hell doing that type of shit. They're like, you know what? I only got a few months to live with an incurable disease. I'm about to just go out and do all this other shit.
People
Yeah.
be brave as fuck.
And that shit humbles you too, because you're like, wait, this person's dying, and you know they're like, you know,
They're living their lives.
and they're living their lives, and then you're out here just like, you know, maybe you have it a lot better because you don't have that
He
illness,
has a halo.
and then that kind of just like
cool.
humbles you and shit like that.
That's gonna be super sick.
At least to me.
I hope so. Shit's hard work though. Art
We're
is
looking
hard.
at this picture. I remember you posting this shit. You shared this shit, right?
Yeah, I already showed it on Snapchat and Instagram. I'm just working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that you made of Demon Slayer. I
fuck
showed
with this
Michael and he
shit.
was like, dude, tell Alex that I will buy his art. He
Yeah.
loves it.
I'm gonna make him a Goku probably.
Oh, did you guys, you did talk about that, huh?
Yeah, we talked about it like a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah. I was just saying, just wait for me to get my style, bro, and I promise you I'll draw him.
This is hella nice.
We're gonna have to get you on the official Midnight Sesh 2.0, you know?
2.0,
For the-
let's go.
In the future, we're gonna need the new label, the new logo. Coming back to Alex for that shit.
Yeah, I see that you have, I was so jealous because he like made that. I was like begging
Let's
him to
go.
give me those paintings on
Oh
your
yeah, I don't want to do it
Damn.
twice.
He said no. I was like, dude, give me one.
You paid him, right?
Yeah,
You
of course
bought
I did.
that shit.
I was like, bro, do that and I'll pay you.
No, those, yeah, you're getting so good at your paintings, honestly.
Yeah. That should be fucking dope.
One day.
I fucking love it.
Did it?
I love
Oh,
smoking.
Hey, but that was a good ass question about death. Because
Yeah.
I feel like lately we've been talking about death a lot.
I'd be scared.
I be thinking
You
about
scared?
it more.
Death. I'm scared of death for sure.
It'd be spooky sometimes.
Yeah, dude, with everything going on right now, like, everybody's been just so, like, hostile and, like, aggressive and, like, just shooting people and stuff. Like, it's one thing to have cancer and, like, know that you're going to die or, like, just go through life and know you're aging and going to die.
Mhm.
But, like, for people that just die in a second, like, just get shot for no reason, like,
Mhm.
that is just so wild to think about because with everything going on, like, you can literally walk down the street and just get shot. and you just don't know what's happening, you know?
Yep.
So it is something to think about. Like, you have to take the time now to think about it because you're just going to keep going through your routine and you're not going to stop, you know?
True.
So it is important.
Every time I hear gunshots outside, or even though I'm scared if they're like fireworks or if they're gunshots or whatever, I always duck.
Yeah, shout out Ken.
I always duck. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like I'm so scared sometimes that I'm just like, dude. I'm not scared because I live in Kent. I'm just saying, like, sometimes when I hear like gunshots outside, I'm like, dude, that there's a possibility that could hit me. So I just duck somewhere. Like,
Bro.
I just go down so it doesn't go through the window and hits me.
I always be thinking of the night that was me, Alejandro, my sister, and Matthew in the living room, and our house got shot at. And I think about it now, and I'm just like, bro, one of us could have just been shot in the head because the bullets deadass made it through the wall and then into the kitchen.
Was that senior year of high school? Because I remember coming here and you guys were saying something about the walls, and I was like, dude, your house got shot at?
Yeah, she said that exactly in that same tone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy, dude.
That is
you
wild.
literally
That's scary.
He has holes in his fucking walls.
That's so scary.
One of the bullet shells made it. My mom made some. I always remember that she made some fucking arroz con leche, and so one of the bullet shells was really inside that fucking fresh arroz con leche. Like the police
It went through
took
the
it.
pot?
Yeah,
For real?
no, not through the pot. It went through the wall, and it
landed
landed in that pot.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Dude, that's so scary.
there's some fat ass shells like this big,
Damn.
and all our neighbors came out to look and shit like that. You know.
Do you know why they shot at your house? Like, were they just doing, like, drive-bys or something?
What I remember, what they said is like it was supposed to be like some like gang or just like some people who thought it was somebody else's house and shot it up or something like that. That's what we were told, but I don't know exactly. The police could just be lying.
Dude, I don't understand, like, gang shit. Like, you really are gonna, like, you have so much, everybody has so much potential to, like, kind
Do
of,
good
you can
things.
live your life exactly how you dream to if you literally just did it. But there's just some people that, like, get so caught up in, like, gang stuff and drug stuff and all that kind of stuff and, like, reputations. Like, you kind of lose yourself. I remember hearing about some kid, I think from KM, who was only 17, and he got, like, jumped by these gang members, like, an initiation, and they, like, chopped him up with a machete and just threw his body in the rip. Like, he was 17. Like, that's really what all that stuff amounts to.
So his initiation was to get killed?
Well, they were, like, beating him with a bat,
Damn.
and it killed him,
Yeah.
so they, like, chopped him up with a machete.
Damn.
Did you hear about that?
I didn't know that.
It was some kid here at
Kinda
KM, but it was just so
That's
crazy.
wild.
It was like after we graduated, but I remember seeing the story because they found like pieces of him in the Green River.
Oh, that's what happened with that
Oh.
shit.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that thing called? The app that we used?
What
What was it called?
What up?
Oh,
The app
Randall
where you,
Naughty.
like it
Randall
like
Naughty.
finds freaking energies nearby that are like super concentrated.
I don't know.
The random nodding.
Yeah, random knot.
Oh.
Yeah. People that found that body part used
Mhm.
random knot. That's how it got popular.
Are you serious?
Mhm.
Dang. Yeah, no,
That's
that's so
crazy.
crazy. Like, how are you just gonna like chop somebody up? Like,
That's so wild.
what is your life? Like, that's just easy for you to do? That's weird.
Fuck. Yeah, fucking gangs be crazy. But it's just like the way they're, the life they're in and all the people that they're around that just
Yeah.
gets them into that influence and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It definitely, like, growing up in certain neighborhoods, like, really do mold the way that your life is going to be. And that is unfortunate because there's just people that were, like, born in the ghetto and they just will never get out of it.
Yep.
I mean, there's those rare people that are like, this isn't the life that I want, and they do get out and become successful, but they have to, like, work so much harder than, like, us who go to public school, you know?
Yep.
Like, it's a sad life.
Dead ass. Damn. Ooh,
No,
we got the
coming at you
next
with all the
shit
real
going on.
shit.
She's been
I
spinning
love it.
facts. Okay.
This is what I think about all the
Yeah.
time.
Damn. Mine is expanded.
It's like, it's because I'm hella geek, so I'm just like, damn, that should be true,
Yeah.
you know? I want to comment on it, but I'm just so geek thinking about, like, the last 10 things you were just saying.
I'm sober. This is me sober.
I fuck with it, though.
Yeah, I don't know. So going back to, like, drugs and stuff, like, people that can handle it and, like, use it, because that's how I do it. Like, I like Molly because it makes me sit there and, like, think about all my emotions and, like, think about other people and how life works. So as long as you can take the time to just focus on what matters, like life, instead of just like, bro, I'm fucking geek, you know? It's not a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
But don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad, y'all. Here you go.
I feel like that's how I definitely was at the beginning when I first started, and after that I got to the point where like, okay, now I don't want to just be high just to be high. I want to be high and think about all this other stuff or do all this other stuff too at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dead air. How y'all feeling? I'm fucking geek.
I'm high too. Y'all got my mind everywhere right
Racing.
Mine too, bro. That's how I am all the time.
You know?
why do you think introverts are quiet? We think about this shit all the time.
Oh yeah. I'm not very introverted. I'm pretty outgoing, but like I feel like a lot of people are kind of intimidated of me sometimes, or they have like this. They think of me of a certain way already. So when you actually have the time to sit down and talk to me, like I can blow your mind. Just
Hey.
give me that space, you know.
Yeah. I'm down. I like hearing everybody's fucking ideas and all the shit they gotta say. Cause I'd be like, oh shit.
Bro, I love the feeling of being like genuinely interested in what other people say.
Yeah.
That's why I always ask for people's opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've heard me talk a lot. You've been there for like every single stage of my life where I'm just like, bro, what the fuck is this shit? And you're just like,
Sometimes I think about like that limbo where we didn't know each other.
oh yeah, I know. It's so weird because you're like my brother. Like I feel like you've always been just like my family member.
Yeah. It's hella funny how this all started from me fucking...
Oh dude, I used to like bully you in middle school.
I never took it as bullying. So basically what happened is... You tell them. I don't have to tell them.
Dude, because we were kind of like locker buddies, and just every
Tell
day...
them where they were.
So mine was like on top and his was like underneath. And
Directly.
every single day when it was like we were all trying to like rush to the bus, my backpack strap would get locked in his locker because he would go first and shut that shit. I'm like, dude, fuck you. Hurry up and unlock this shit. I just bullied you. And then, like, we saw each other in 9th grade when I went to KM. And, like, you know, I said hi to you. And then we didn't talk because I went to a different school. And then I came back to KM. And then we're just, like, best friends.
Damn.
And that's the story of me and Leslie, everyone.
Yeah,
That sounds like an Alex. I would have been hella mad too. I was like, this guy
that sounds
always
like an
got my
Alex move.
backpack
That's
locked
like
up.
an Alex move.
Always. He was pissing me off so much because
I
he would
felt
also take
bad.
his time because I think he was like scared or nervous or something. So he would take his time, like he would forget his
I
code.
think I was nervous.
Yeah, he would forget his like number, and I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Give me your number, I'll do it myself.
Oh yeah, she did that shit one time.
I was getting so irritated.
Oh my god, I love how you remember this much better than me because you were the person that was in the conflict and I was over here like,
Yeah,
oh
dude, I'm
fuck, like
just
I
a
gotta just
bully.
hurry up.
Oh, shit,
like
I
all I was
forgot.
feeling was like, oh shit, I did that shit again, I'm stupid. And then I'd be like, okay, make sure you don't forget your fucking thing. So I'd be like, I'd overthink it and be too careful with the number.
Yeah,
And
eventually I
just-
just got your locker number and I did
Yeah.
it myself.
Yeah, so I didn't care. Like at some point, like I knew her and I knew that she wouldn't take my shit. So I was just like, I'll just give you my number.
Meanwhile, as the Rutho gets fucked up.
Dang, what's that, number 3 now?
Blonde.
What is
Yes.
Three?
Three
Yeah.
or yeah.
Well, we rolled 3 woods and 1 blunt.
It's okay. It's the midnight sesh. I don't know what our max is so far on the midnight sesh.
Damn, I think like
5.
7 or
Oh,
8.
I was always late because
I
I
think
had
what Dave-
to
well, yeah,
Dave's
from
was like
band
7 or 8, yeah.
class.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
I know, we didn't even have any classes together. I always saw you just like at the beginning and the end of the day, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
dude, fuck this kid.
Fucking
That shit's hella
Alex.
funny though.
I always like say what I think. That's
You know,
like my
Alex.
problem.
That's my problem too. I gotta learn to shut the fuck
Locker
up.
buddies to Adderall buddies. Who would have thought?
At the end
It's
of the
okay.
day, it was Matthew that gave us that Adderall too. Whatever happened.
He mega plugged us
Of
that day, bro.
course.
Oh no, he plugged us for
Mega
like a
plugged
month.
us.
Every single time we meet up with him, like at the beginning of the day, and he's just like, "Yeah, dude, I got you."
He
I'm
had
like,
it when we
Let's
really
go.
needed it.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Matthew for that time, bro. 'cause
Damn.
I would.
You still hang out with him?
We be talking to him sometimes. Yeah.
Hey, but we need to get
He's
Matt
up
on the
to his own stuff
show.
right now.
Should we bring him on the show?
Where's
ladies
Matt
and
at?
gentlemen?
Matt, yeah. I'll
Shout
talk
out
to
to
him.
Matt. He helped me graduate.
He be fucking kicking it. I still be talking to him sometimes, and then he just be telling me his shit. I think I saw him like last month or something too. Or
Fun.
2 months ago, I picked up some shit from him.
Fun fact: me and Matthew walked at graduation.
Oh,
Let's
you guys walked
go.
I
together?
remember that
Yeah.
shit.
We walked together.
Oh yeah, because
We got that close. We were just
another
like,
fun
we can
fact:
just
I was
walk
supposed to
together,
walk
chill.
with Alejandro.
Who did he walk with? Because he walked in front of us, didn't
Mitzi.
he? Oh, he did. Him and Mitzi were like best friends. Yeah. I actually just saw Mitzi like maybe a year ago now, but she's still doing good.
Makes sense, COVID.
I be seeing her
Yeah.
posting. I think she went to like Rome or some shit like a while ago.
No, her and her boyfriend. Because when I worked at TSA, like I've always been cool with Mitzi. So every time she would walk by, and I'm like, "Oh my god, hi!" I would like go up and hug her. I'm like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "I'm going to Rome. I'm doing this. I'm
That's
Oh,
going."
shit.
I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck? Take me with
She's
you."
filthy with it.
She's a really good girl. Like she's always been super chill.
Mhm.
Like always. I really respect like especially girls because you know guys have always just kind of been chill with each other and it's different with girls. Like we're
Mhm.
always just kind of like you know comparing and like
She's
not
a
liking
bitch.
each other. But she is a really genuine person.
Yeah, Mitzi's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, you have it. It's really lucky when you can find somebody that's like
Like
a
that.
girlfriend. You know.
I hung out with her a few times, like a long ass time ago, but like as a group, and she was always really chill.
Yeah, I remember her and Alejandro like used to just talk about how like they've known each other since like elementary or middle school or whatever, and they've just stayed friends for a really long time.
Hate that shit. We gotta get her on the show.
Let's get Misty.
You think she'll come on the show?
Yeah, Mitzi
Maybe.
on there.
If we invite her, come through to the show.
Come on the
Get stuff
sesh.
to
Come
say.
join the sesh.
Hearing this shit and everything.
Yeah, she was like baked already when I because I did a photo shoot for her. I did that photo shoot with her, and her eyes are just like
They dilated or
closed.
something. Oh.
No,
That's
she was so
dope.
fucking high, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, dude, I'm just baked, and I'm like, that's
Go
okay,
ahead.
let's go.
It's filthy.
Well, damn. How you feeling, bro?
I'm pretty fucking geek.
Yeah. How you feeling, Alex?
I'm chilling at the moment.
Nice.
I'm just having a good time.
Appreciate you
Oh.
coming through, bro.
Yeah,
So
this is cool.
when is this IG art page coming?
I kind of forget the name, so let me look at it real quick because I changed it recently.
Wait.
Oh, you changed the name.
Change the name. Is this a secret too, or?
No,
Rebranding.
it's,
Share it,
it's,
share it.
it's not a secret, but it's _ spaces cool, no caps.
Yeah.
No cap. Y'all heard it here first.
Yeah,
Underscore.
go find him.
Anything y'all want to
Space
plug
is
before we
cool.
head out?
Oh, let's see.
Leslie, Alex.
Okay, follow my photography play.
Ooh,
my page.
what's up?
It's at El Hernandez Photos.
Hey.
Mhm.
Tag that shit.
All right, guys.
That's
Yeah.
all you
Anything
got,
else?
Alex?
Yeah.
No, I think I'm cool.
Well, thanks
But
for
when
having
you
us.
see this episode,
Thanks for coming on the sesh.
Yeah.
It was a good conversation.
Last thing, we got the stickers now,
Let's
everybody.
go. Y'all gonna be seen around.
when this episode comes out, the stickers are probably going to be already labeled wherever we can find them at. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, make
Random
sure if you see
places.
it, tag us on IG.
Yep. It'd be
Official Midnight Sesh.
everywhere.
Good night, guys. I'm high now.